Hi guys, welcome again to another episode of Beyond the Scenes. Today we're here with Miss Stacey Williams, and Stacey is an author and she's also the founder of Stacey Speaks. Welcome, Stacey. It's good to have you. All right, so guys, today we want to talk to Stacey, find out a little bit about Stacey Speaks, and like we said, she's an author. So we're gonna ask her, how has that journey been for her, and what nuggets she can tell us as entrepreneurs, and not only entrepreneurs, but people wanting to start something but finding it difficult to start. So Stacey, where should we start with you? All right, so tell us how you came about Stacey Speaks. What is it, and how did the concept develop?
All right, so Stacey Speaks for me is like a vessel that I use to promote everything self, self-help, self-love, self-care, self-awareness, encouraging persons on their own individual journeys towards mental fitness, and with the ultimate goal being self-actualization, which is becoming the best version of yourself. So the journey started pretty much in 2021.
That's COVID time, right?
Oh yes.
Okay.
So it started just by me putting out motivational pieces during Lent. It was at that was my 40-day Lent. Yes. Okay. So I started putting out the motivational pieces, and it started resonating with people, and people started reaching out, and from there, once Lent had ended, and I was like, okay, this is it. That was my task, and I think I completed it. Yeah. But then persons kept reaching out to me to say, are you going to do this again? It was something that they were looking forward to, and it was something that was also encouraging them, because at that point I realized that there are a lot of persons who were going through things, and we see them every day, and we see the smiles, and we just didn't know what was going on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So I decided to start doing a blog.
Okay.
And I was there trying to figure out what should we call the blog, what should it, and then I said, okay, Stacey Speaks, and that's where it all began. I started putting little snippets of my life journey on the blog, and by doing that opened another can of worms, because then there were persons who reached out again, different set of persons now, because now I had gone a little deeper into my journey and some of the experiences that I've had, and the encouragement came from there, because I was like, okay, do I really want to do this, because this would be me opening up and
being vulnerable.
Oh yes. So do I really want to do this? But then each time I thought about probably stopping, somebody else reached out to say how it has assisted them, and with whatever it is that they were dealing with, and I said, okay, let me continue. And from there, everybody was saying, you need to do a book. You need to do a book. And the book idea, I've thought about it before. In 2013, I tried to write a book, but everything that I'd encountered, I don't think I'd gotten over the hurt and the pain. It wasn't coming together. It was too difficult for me to do at that time. But then, once again, I was being encouraged, I was being steered that way to say, do this book. This can help somebody. And yes, eventually.
All right, so take us back now to Stacey Speaks. When you started doing this, you did it by what medium? On social media or on WhatsApp? What you used?
So initially it was just a blog on Wix. So I got a domain, and I started writing it there.
Okay.
And even then I was still a little bit timid, and I was saying the Wix, that platform would be kind of limited, not a lot of people. And then I was thinking that, only persons who are introduced to it would know about it. So I was like, okay, then yes, I was being vulnerable, but it's not everybody. Yes. So that's where it started. But once I did the book, and everything that came with the book, I had to then, merge and move from just the Wix platform to Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube.
All over. All right, so when you started and then back at the Stacey Speaks, because they said that was a genesis for everything could you tell us like one particular profound moment, when you probably shared a thought and somebody reached out to you, what that thought was?
All right, so I kind of put my journey out there, the aspect of it that, as a single parent, and the fact that on that journey there are so many, bumps, and so many times when, I had to, I call it playing raffle, to see what bill I can pay, what I can't pay, that kind of thing. And people see you now, and they automatically assume that life was always great, So once I started putting out the struggle, and so many of us can identify with struggle. The sad part is some of us choose to block it out, not realizing that it's a part of the journey. We have to accept it for what it is, and then try to move forward.
And that allows other people to get on the same journey and overcome. But when you hide it now, it's like person thinks that they can never ever reach that stage.
So once I started putting that out, and persons who you thought, as far as I'm concerned, life is good, life is great, because that's the picture that I see. The life is good, life is great. But once I became vulnerable and I was saying, okay, then all of this has happened to me. Then they started
Other
saying,
persons.
boy, whoever had marital issues, whoever had this, everybody started coming forward and sharing, and then I realized that they saw Stacey Speaks as like a safe space to come and share, some of the deepest, darkest secrets, I remember one person sharing about how they were molested, and it was a lot, because it's like you in that, or me in that capacity now, I've started taking on these things as
other
like,
persons,
as like, how can I help these people, but that's one of the things that kind of encouraged me, the fact that I'm saying if it is through sharing, if it is through sharing that I can assist somebody else, then I'm all for it.
So tell us now, before we get into the book, tell us about how you grew up. Because you said you shared your journey and stuff. Give us some background.
All right, so I was born and raised in the inner city community of Southside. Yes, I am the 17th of 18 children for my father, and I am 6 of 6 for my mom. So,
so you're wash belly for one and almost wash belly for the other one.
Oh, yes. I should have been wash belly, but I'm the too bad. So I have a little sister that came after me. But it was very humble beginnings. But, one thing I knew for sure was the fact that if I was to get out of that situation, then my education would be integral to that move. And so, even though you're in the ghetto, I didn't really feel as though I was a part of it, because, my parents didn't allow me to actually go out and be, No. It was school and home, and it got to the point where, because, I'm there alone, I'm nobody to play with them, but it got to the point now where I started keeping school at my house.
So all the students,
so all the kids in the community, they would come over to my house, and I would teach them, and there were kids that some of them are older than me, but I was a teacher in that moment, and it was something that even the parents welcomed, because sometimes they would see me and they would tell me that they're going to send their child to school. So, I started doing that. Then I got involved with the Salvation Army Church. And before you know it, I was teaching Sunday school. I was part of youth ministry. I was doing all of those things. And I remember even when I had sat my common entrance, and I know my parents never have it. So I started seeking out to see how I can get some support in, and I went to the captains at the church, and I said to them, I've done my exams, I've passed out this school, and I need some help, and they, gave me the forms, took it home, and I was able to get a scholarship through them for high school. So I was always, even from a young age, trying to chart my own path, and I was waiting to see what's going to drop at my lap. I was always, seeking out, because even when, before I did common entrance, I was going to Old Rosary Prep, and I remember when I was in the 2nd grade, and they told us that there's no school's going to close because of financial challenges, and we had to find another school. And I went to summer school at St. George's Girls. I never really liked it there. So I did 1 week summer school, I never liked it there. And then I went to Alpha Primary for summer school. And I said to my mother, I like Alpha Primary. But even though I was saying that, I'm not really saying I'm making a move for get me in a school. And I went back to summer school and I went to the principal and I said, how can I get into school? And
grade 2?
Yes, I was going to go to grade 3 at that time. And I said, how can I get into school? And they gave me the forms. I took it home. I told them, sign it up. And I took it back to school. So, I get myself in school. So I've always been the person who, trying to...
In spite of the challenges.
Oh, yes. Trying to ensure that, I try to decide as much as I can my own future.
Yeah. So take us now. You have passed common entrance and go to this grand high school, like
Convent of Mercy Academy, Alpha. Yes.
Alpha, as we call it in Jamaica. Tell us about your journey there. What did you do after Alpha, and how did being at Alpha influence who you are today?
Okay, so attending Convent of Mercy Academy Alpha, it helped to mold me into the individual. Oh yes, there's so many values that was instilled in us there. Sister Grace did a very good job with us and keeping us on par and we're forever grateful for that, and grateful to the point as it is now. I'm the current president of the alumni, the local chapter for Alpha, right? So I just want to give back in whatever way that I can to support the ladies that are there now on their journeys. But outside of Alpha, did 9 CXCs, applied for 6th form, and had all good intention to go to 6th form. But then, I got involved with this man.
So story come to bump or bump come to story.
And he had migrated and gone to England, and he was saying, you can come and you can do nursing. There's a nurse shortage here and all that. I had no interest in doing nursing. But in that moment, I was like, everybody did want to go for it. Like 2001, everybody want to go for it. So, I was like, okay, I think I could make use of this. And so I didn't go to 6th form, but instead I migrated and I left for England with this gentleman. It was not the bed of roses that I expected it to be. But that was the next move for me after high school.
Okay. All right. And you had attended university as well?
I attended university when I came back.
Oh, when you came back. All right. So when we come back, we'll delve some more into that. So thanks, viewers, for listening so far to Staceys Story, and we'll come back.